Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank one of my subscribers, Michael, for this article. We saw similar articles back in 2018. I think it was a woman and a man that what the woman lost her life after being licked by a dog, and I believe the man also had to go through amputations. So this came out in the Independent, August 3rd, 2019. Woman has hands and legs amputated after dog licks her. So the symptoms were so rapid in progression, there was nothing they could do, family says. So a dog lover woke up in the hospital to find surgeons had amputated her hands and legs after she suffered a rare reaction to the saliva of one of her pets. Surgeons removed Marie Trainor's limbs to save her life as gangrene set in while she was in a coma. Trainor is thought to have become infected when one of her two dogs licked a scratch on her arm, causing her immune system to flare up. When she first started feeling ill in May, she thought it might be the flu, but was rushed to the hospital after her temperature rose alarmingly. The 54-year-old from Ohio, U.S., developed sepsis and suffered liver and kidney failure. As she drifted in and out of consciousness, she also complained of excruciating pain in her hands and legs. Unable to breathe on her own, she was put into a coma and placed on life support. Within hours, she started to suffer gangrene and necrosis in her legs and hands. We were getting new symptoms and worsening symptoms very rapidly, said Gina Primer. Her stepdaughter, who is a nurse practitioner at the hospital, blood tests showed, okay, so she got exactly what the people did last year. She got a bacteria from the dog saliva. Um, it's believed such a severe reaction happens to only about 1 in a million people who come in contact with the saliva. Dr. Margaret Colby, medical director of infectious diseases at Altman Hospital, told Fox 8 it's fairly common in the oral flora or the mouth of a dog. It can be transmitted through a bite or sometimes just contact with saliva. People should ensure they wash their hands after playing with a dog, she said. The organism may induce the immune system to do some pretty horrible things, she said. In this case, they cause blood clots and damage the tissues in Miss Trainor's limbs so much they could not be saved. Miss Trainor had surgery at least 6 times and was in the hospital for nearly 3 months, but remembers nothing before waking up in intensive care. Wow, 3 months in the hospital? That is a long time. It was very hard to find out that they had removed my legs and arms, very hard to cope with, she told Fox 59. She said her dog licked her all the time. And Miss Premier said if the surgeons had not performed the amputations, her stepdaughter would have died. Her stepmother would have died. It was so rapid in progression, there was nothing they could do. Trainor, a hairdresser, faces rehabilitation in uncertain future. Yeah, wow, she was a hairdresser. Well, now she won't be doing that job anymore. So her husband now has to do everything for her, of course, feed her, dress her, you know, getting her ready for the day. I mean, that is inevitable. There's really not much you can do. So, of course, they're just talking about a fundraiser. Last year, a U.S. man also had his limbs amputated after being infected by a dog lick. And I remember that story. I actually did that story, y'all. That was his dog that licked him. So, a lot of these people are getting these infections from their own pets. There's a video here. Let me see if I can play the video.
You know, being in a coma for 10 days and had this thing, and the dog licked me, and my dogs lick me all the time.
Her dog's saliva forever changing Marie Trainor's life.
It's very hard to find out when they first told me, and that they had to remove my legs and my arms, some of my hands, and it was just something, I mean, what do you do? I mean, it's very hard to cope with.
Because it happened so fast.
It's it's a blur.
Right after vacation, says husband Matthew Trainor.
I remember the dogs licking her, you know, coming home. They were happy to see us.
The next night, Marie developed flu-like symptoms.
Her temperature went up, then it went down to about 93 degrees, and that's when we rushed her to the hospital.
Okay. Wow, that's no joke to go through something like that. But yeah, I mean, it sounds almost like these folks that this sort of thing happens to, their immune system might be compromised by something. But y'all, here we go again. You know, maybe it's just not safe for some people to have pets. You know, you may love pets, but you just shouldn't have them. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.